Let me just lighten this up a little bit. Hope you're all okay out there. Here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are my stories that I like to bring. You'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose. Oh, that kind of missed, didn't it? Patreon.com/JessRose5472. Or you can come and join us on the live. Like I say, I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday. I have a chat with the guys in the live, then I get on with the story. No, I don't chop and change within the story. And then at the end, I come back and have a quick chat with the guys in the live. Be great if you could join us. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a quick chat, wait until a few more people join us, and then I'll begin the story. If you want to fast forward, that's fine. Or you can just stick around and watch me ramble. Thank you. Hi guys, how we doing? Hi Phil, hi Sharon, hi Warwick, hi Tiff, how we all doing? Have we all had a good weekend and stuff? How have we all been? This is a bit shaky tonight, I'm going to have to be really careful, aren't I? How are we? Did we have a good weekend? I don't know, what did I do the weekend? What did I do? Oh, Christmas decks! Christmas decks went up. You can't see them, can you? You can't see my lights. It's all very pretty. It's all very pretty. All my Christmas decks went up, so I was very happy about that. So that took about 10 hours on Saturday. Excellent. Did you have a nice holiday though, Sharon? Did you have a good holiday? Yes, we are live tomorrow on Jerome's channel, Mysteries with Mr. Baljic, if anyone wants to join. Hi, Hayley. How are you? Yes, so if you'd like to join for that. I could see you too. Can you see the twinkles? Can you see them? I didn't know if you could tell or not. We're very twinkly in here. We are. Very pretty. At the front of the house, the neighbours aren't happy with it at all. You turn onto my road and it's just my house lit up. It's, yeah, they're not happy about it. But I love it. Kids love it. So I don't care. I don't care. I know I'm early, but I don't care. Yeah. But, yes, welcome back, Warwick. Hope you're okay. But did anyone else have anything good? What did we... Hayley, you were away, weren't you? I know Sharon was away. What did everyone else get up to? Anything exciting? Anything good? Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Sharon. Back to the same old now. You're back with us now. It's always disappointing when you come back off a holiday, isn't it? It's like, oh, God, do we have to? Do we have to? Can we not just live a life of holidays? I could do it, you know. I could do it. I could quite easily just live a life on a holiday. It'd be fabulous. You know, like people say, oh, if you had Christmas every day, you'd be bored. No, not at all. You can't wind me up. I'm just so, honestly, and I'm still not done. We're still not done. Still got to do a little bit more at the weekend. Then we're all done. Is it really? Oh, see, I've given up on charging lights, to be honest. I've given up on it. I'm just using my plugins. They just don't last long enough. They're just not long lasting. I need like 2-hour lights, I do. So, but yes. So, does anyone know this story? Anyone know this one? I'll hang on a couple more minutes, see if, I wonder if Kelly will join tonight. She's been watching after, so she must be quite busy. I'm awaiting the complete look before oh, okay. No, it's not, Phil. It's never, ever, ever too early. Hi, Natalie. How you doing? Sounds... yes, I was just been telling them all. I put my Christmas decks up at the weekend. And I was so excited about it. Sorry, Phil, I'm doing a little happy dance. This is what I'm doing at the moment. Get very excited about Christmas. So if I can get away with putting them up 2 months beforehand. Well, it's not quite 2 months, is it? What is it, 6 weeks? Oh, God. I haven't even started. All my decks are up, but I haven't got a single gift. Just me all over. Yes, so, is your head all wobbled now? Oh, we are glad. We're glad you're back, Warwick. We are. So, yeah, but does anyone know this one? Does anyone know this one? Tell me now. Tell you what I am going to mention. I had 2 stories that I'd done. Oh, so not the last 2, but the 2 before then. The 2 when I came, 2 before I went off for half term. And I happened to look. Oh, I know, Tiffany, it is. I went to have a look and I'd got 1.3 thousand on the one, 1.2 thousand views on the other. I was like, oh my God. I did find it a little bit odd. I'm not going to lie. Hold on. To imagine I'm in the bath. Oh, to be calm. To be calm. Do you know, I can't. I get very hyped up. But I will try. I'm going to try. It'll only last for like the first couple of minutes and then I'll calm. I just get very hyped up. But yeah, then I started to notice the views had dropped. And now one of them that was sat at 1.2 thousand views, it's back down to 194. Now that's kind of where my views are at the moment. So that's not unusual, that figure. But why was it sat at 1.2 a week ago? Like, I know you can drop subscribers, but how do you drop views? How does that happen? Especially by over 1,000. What is going on in my life? Would have been mine as you stole it. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I was going to say, imagining you in the bath probably would have been mine as you stole it. I did use, when me and Tiffany used to live together, I don't know. I'll have to have a look, Shannon. I'll have to keep an eye on it because it wasn't just like the 1.2 and the 1.1 or 1.3, whatever it was. It wasn't like they just appeared and then dropped. They stayed for ages and then just gone back down. One's still at 1.2, but the other one's just reduced down. So I'm assuming the other one's going to drop down. So I don't know what that was. But yes, when me and Tiffany used to live together, I don't like baths. I'm not a fan of baths at all. Can't stand them. I'm a shower person. And Tiffany, yeah, I agree. There's something very odd, Warwick. Something really, really, really strange. It always means a horrible swear word, dude. But yeah, then Tiffany would run her baths. And I'd go into the bathroom while they were running and they'd just look lovely. So yes, I would get into her baths. Not with her in it, obviously. Before she'd even got a chance. She'd go off to go and get her stuff ready while she was running this bath and come back and the bathroom door would be locked and she'd hear splashing. It was me. But yes, so that's what she's referring to with the bath. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with my views. It is. It's really, really bizarre. It's so strange. I'm just hoping my subscribers don't drop off because we know I hit the 2,000, which I was very happy about. But I'm a bit scared now. I'm like, oh, please don't drop. Please don't drop off. Please. I was very excited about it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it was as I was getting in. I think that was the splashing that she could hear. So, yeah, she wasn't impressed. She wasn't happy about it anyway. But, trolls. But how is it possible for views to go up and then drop? I know subscribers can. Of course, they can come and go. I get that. But views are just... I just thought once they were there, they were there. Yeah, no, if you there's a subscriber. No, I had a massive drop in subscribers the once as well. Like I went up and then I think I lost about 100. It was the oddest thing, but that was sort of within a 24-hour period. But that was ages ago. That was a long time ago now. But yeah, that's what I mean. I only think it can be. I would assume is YouTube, but I don't know why. I don't know why. Why are they? Why have I got views and then no views? Oh, and let me tell you, when I looked, I think I mentioned it to Sharon. When I looked, no, it's not. That's what I mean, Sharon. It's not the subscribers. It's not the subscribers. It's the views. Like the views dropped. So you still keep your view even if the sub's gone. I mean, so if someone hasn't subscribed to you, they can still watch and it still would class a view. So that's what's baffling me. It's the views that are missing. Yeah, it's the oddest thing. It's the, yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean, Phil. It's watching, but then they're going out to spot. But I think that's. Oh, do you think that's fake as well? The subscribers. Oh, I hope not. Oh, I hope not. So happy, but the lives haven't really gone up either. No comments, no likes, or extra. I mean, yeah. You know, my mum said that actually as well. She says for such a boost in subscribers, like why haven't your live views gone up? So it's very odd, very, very, very odd. But yes, it doesn't matter because we have the Jess Rose crew. I don't care as long as we're here. Well, I do care. Of course I care. But not in a sense of the live. It'd just be nice if they watch afterwards. But I don't know. I don't know. And then when the views went up as much as they did, I thought, oh, there we go. They're not watching the live, but they're watching after. And then they dropped off and I was like, oh. I know. That's what I mean, Warwick. That was what I'd noticed. Like no extra comments, no extra likes, no one coming through on the live. Bar my faves. So yeah, it's a bit odd. I'm seeing YouTube, but why mess with our little channel? There's just little old us on a Tuesday and Thursday. Just us. Leave us alone. So anyway, after I've had that little whinge, don't know what it's all about, but I'll update you on Thursday if the one that was at 1.2 when I looked at today has dropped off. But it's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. It takes time, and do you know what? I don't do it for that. I do it. I love bringing the stories to yous. It's an interest I've had for a very long time. I've been a bad girl. I don't know what I've done, but I must have been a very bad girl. But I love my guys in the live, and I'm not gonna lie. I think if I had a load of people coming into the live, I think I'd be. Do you say? I think I'd be a bit sad. Should I say that? Only because you're a great group, and I just think if there was loads of people coming in and out, it'd just be a little bit, I don't know. Hi Kelly, how you doing? How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Have you been? But yeah, so we're just gonna chug along in our little group. But please leave the subscribers alone. I'm very happy about that. It's nice to see it just scrolling up. But we'll see. We'll see what YouTube brings on Thursday, eh? But yeah, I'm just happy that I've got you guys, my little group, and all playing nicely. So this is good. This is good. Right, okay. So now we've got Kelly. Shall we start? Shall we start? Oh God! Oh, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, I suppose. It was just dropping in view. I don't mind not getting any. Oh, I know on my lives they're just chugging along. They're just chugging along. It was the fact that it blew up, but 2 stories so quickly, like you're saying about the Charlene Downs. But then it'd be like you're getting the 130k on Charlene Downs, and then waking up the next morning there's like 1,000 on there, views wise. That's what's happened. It's like it's crazy. Just from like a couple, it blew up, and now but it dropped back down. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of YouTube, but neither here nor there anyway. So, should we start? I'm going to put my fan away. In a second. Just trying to protect my fringe for as long as I possibly can, because it's going to be stuck to my face by the end, I can tell you. But I'll leave you all to have a natter, and I'm going to begin. So, if you're watching tomorrow, I'm going to begin now. I'm going to begin now. So this is, yes, very true. Right. It's the Harrowing Jennifer Ertman and Elizabeth Pena story. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit of a long one, guys. So you're going to bear with me. Much like the story I did, I think it was Thursday. There are a few names in this one, all right? But like Thursday, I'll recap and I'll try and spread it out as best as I can, okay? So, we're going to start off with Elizabeth Christine Pena, okay? Now, she was born on the 21st of June, 1977, all right? Mum, Melissa, Dad, Adolf, and siblings. She had a younger brother and a little sister, okay? Now, Elizabeth, beautiful girl. And I say it all the time, and I say that all the time, but beautiful girl, okay? This long, dark, beautiful curly hair, big brown eyes, very clever, very kind. Now, Elizabeth, as she got to her early teens, let's say, she met a group of friends, all right? And she didn't go off the rails in the sense of she wasn't getting drunk and doing drugs. There was nothing like that. But it was more, she wasn't concentrating on her schoolwork. She wasn't being as close with her family, that sort of thing. And her dad, quite a strict dad, he wasn't impressed with it. So he thought, if I take her out of the school and I'll enroll her in a Catholic school, we might be able to bring about a change, bring her back. She goes to the Catholic school. She gets expelled within 6 weeks. Okay, so that didn't quite work. But the expulsion actually, it brought something out in Elizabeth, and she was like, I can't do this. I can't be like this. I'm not a good example to my brother and sister. So there was kind of a snap in her where she decided, look, I want to try it. I really want to try and work hard. She was got in high school now, and, she knew she only had a couple of years left, and she wanted to get her head down. So, of course, she messed it up a little bit. But her dad then got her enrolled in Waltrip High School, it was called, okay? It's around 1992, okay? And this is where she met Jennifer. Now, a little bit about Jennifer. Jennifer Lee Ertman, born on the 15th of August, 78. So it's just over a year between the two girls, okay? Now, Jennifer's mum was Sandy, her dad, Randy. It's they rhymed. And Jennifer's actually an only child. Her parents didn't think they were going to be able to have kids. Sandy ended up catching, I think, when she was about 35, 36. She was a bit of a, she was a bit older when she had her. And they doted on her. Very protective, doted on her. They really did. And Jennifer was a very sensible girl, really sensible. Looked the complete opposite to Elizabeth. She had blonde hair, blonde straight hair, big blue eyes. Like I say, Elizabeth was dark hair, dark eyes. Complete opposite in personality and everything else. But they just met and they just clicked. They got on really, really well. Really good friends. Now, Adolf, obviously Elizabeth's dad, a little bit wary, only because Jennifer, like I say, she was just over a year younger than Elizabeth. Now, when when you hit your 20s or whatever, or even your late teens, that's not really a big thing. But at this point in the story we're going to get to, Jennifer's still 14. She hasn't quite reached her 15th birthday yet. And Elizabeth had just turned 16. Okay, literally just turned 3 days before where we get to in this story. So it seems like there's 2 years between these girls, but there's actually not. Okay? And so his concern was that Jennifer might be a bit young for her, but when he met Jennifer, he realised she wasn't. A very mature girl, really sweet, very sensible, which is what he liked after what Elizabeth had been her friends previous, let's say, to Jennifer. And he really, really liked that they were getting on, and he felt she was a good example to Elizabeth, even though Elizabeth was the older one. So it worked out really well. Now Elizabeth, like I said, beautiful girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, loved jewellery. Like once she'd hit 13, 14, she'd started to get like a real love for jewellery. She'd always been quite tomboy-y, but don't forget, this is the 90s, the big hair's in play. You can see the girls' photos. It's all about the hairspray, and I was that child myself. I was actually born in 78 myself, same as Jennifer was. And it was the hairspray with the hairdryer and get it as big as possible. It was just that kind of look. Don't know what we all thought we looked like, but that was it. And you look at the photos of the girls, and just by looking that these photos were taken in the 90s, you can just see it. But she'd started to come out of her tomboy stage, and she'd started dressing quite pretty and wearing a little bit of makeup, not a lot, just a little bit of makeup. And now her mum would give Jennifer pocket money on a Thursday and a Sunday. She used to get $35 on a Thursday, $35 on a Sunday, which I thought, wow, 70 quid a week, my God, in the 90s. Amazing. But that's what she used to get. But there was also a rule, and it was she had to always have, when she left the house, $10 in her back pocket. Okay? That was a rule of the house. And it was because, don't forget, we are back in the 90s, no mobile phones. It would have to be taxis if you couldn't get anywhere, if you couldn't get your parents to drop you, that kind of thing. So they always made sure she had this $10 in her back pocket for emergencies. Now, on her 14th birthday, she'd also got a pager. I don't know if you remember pagers, but, she'd got like a little pager. If you don't know what it is, it's just it's a little device. I think Microsoft made them, not a Motorola, I think. And it was just where someone could basically call the pager, and the pager itself would just have like a little strip of a screen, and when your pager would beep, you'd look and it would just have like a phone number on there of the person who'd called, and you'd know to get in contact with that person. You know, I've heard today, like, I don't think I actually had a pager. I think I don't remember having one, but I do vaguely remember that you could write a little, very brief message on there as well, like call me, da 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 da. Very small bit of writing as well that you could put on there at one point when it advanced. So that's what she'd got for her 14th birthday. Jennifer had. So that's just a little something about the girls, okay? So now we're going to come to June the 24th, 1993. All right? So the majority of this story is going to be based on this day. All right? So 4:15 p.m. Okay? Jennifer had arranged to go to Elizabeth's house. They lived about 4 miles away from each other. Okay, so not far. Now, Randy, obviously Jennifer's dad, dropped Jennifer over to Elizabeth's. Now, Jennifer also had quite a nice curfew, really. She didn't have to be in till 12 o'clock, midnight, which, again, I don't think I got that time till I was about 18, but it sounds like she was very sensible, she was very trustworthy, whereas, yeah, I wasn't as trustworthy, perhaps. So, yeah, that was her curfew. And plus, they knew where she was. They knew Elizabeth. They knew Elizabeth's parents very well. You know, so it was that sort of situation. It wasn't like she was just going gallivanting around the streets kind of thing. So, now, the girls, for a few hours, hung out in Elizabeth's room. All right? Just listening to music, nattering, that sort of thing. That sort of girly afternoon/evening. Don't forget to summer holidays. It's school summer holidays. So, you know, it's just all a fun time for these girls. That's it. They're just enjoying each other's company. Well, about 8 p.m, the girls decide to go round to their friend's Gina's house, okay? And Melissa, who is Elizabeth's mom, offers to take them. So she drives them round to Gina, and Gina is called Gina Escamilla, okay? So they drop round. Now, I've heard about this story that it's Gina who was having a pool party, and that's where the girls were going. Now, Elizabeth, her curfew was a little bit earlier than Jennifer. She had to be in for, again, it's really hard. I've heard 11:30, all right? You might think, why is that important? It is important, but, okay. So I've heard those 2 times for her. So they're her curfews, all right? We're going to go with 11 p.m, though. That's what I've gone with. So that's how the time frame works. So they get to Gina's. Now, what I've actually found out, because this goes back to the 90s, there are a lot of different, there's a lot of different information on it. Online, newspapers, there's just a lot. So I'm going to just tell you all of what I found out to a degree with these parts, just in case you're like, hang on a minute, that didn't happen. I'll tell you both things that I've heard. Now, what I'd heard was it was Gina's pool party, and that's where the girls were going to. I also heard that they were at Gina's. They went outside of Gina's home. There was a group of friends that all the girls knew. And one of the lads that was within that group says, come to mine. We're having a pool party just across the street. So it's neither here nor there, but they're the 2 things that I heard. Anyway, it gets to about 20 past 10. Now remember, I says Elizabeth's curfew is, Elizabeth's curfew is 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. So Jennifer kind of nudges Elizabeth about 20 past 10, and she's like, we better go. Your parents want you back for 11 o'clock. This is how sensible she is. This is how good she is. This is how she looks out for her friends as well. Even though this girl's 14 years old, and she's still looking out for her friends, and she's like, look, we better go because I don't want you getting in trouble. So by the time, though, the girls have said goodbye to everyone and they're leaving, they get their stuff together. By the time they leave, it's about 10:45 and they're about 30 minutes away from Elizabeth's home. So they're like, we better get a move on. So Jennifer, I'm sorry about this, about the names, I'm ever so sorry. Jennifer actually says to Elizabeth, well, look, why don't we cut through? And now there's a park called Jester Park. Why don't we cut through there? It's just past through. They have to walk down the road. They have to go through a gap in the fence. They have to go down to some railway tracks, go along there, and then they come into Jester Park. They can cut through there, and then when they get out of there, it's probably only about a 15-minute walk then to Elizabeth's. So it shouldn't have took the girls long. It probably took me longer to say it wasn't that far. So they both agreed, come on, we'll go through the park. They'd done it before, never had any problems. So that was their agreement, and off they go. Okay. So 4 a.m. 4 a.m. comes now. And Sandy, who, if you remember, is Jennifer's mom, she wakes up and she says she doesn't know what it was that woke her, but she woke up with a real bad feeling in her stomach, really bad feeling in her stomach. And she looks out into the hall. Now, Jennifer's bedroom light is left on when she goes out, but she knows that Jennifer, when she gets home, will turn it off when she goes to bed. But the light was still on. So really uneasy, she gets up, goes just straight across the hall to Jennifer's bedroom, opens the door, bed's not slept in, room's as it was, and she's just got this awful feeling in the pit of the stomach. Now, remember I've said Jennifer, very, very sensible girl, very by the book, very followed the rules. And if ever she was going to stop out, she would always call, always. In fact, on the nights where she is out, not even stopping out, like even while she was at Gina's, her mum had sent her messages to her pager, and Jennifer had called her mum back. You know, she was very reliable that way. So, yeah, Sandy starts to really panic, but she's worried about what Randy's going to say. Randy, just like Ada, very strict on his little girl. And she's there, and Randy wakes up about 6 a.m. and he sort of comes out, and Sandy's sat there and he's like, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, hang on a minute, where's Jennifer? And she's like, oh, I think she decided to stay at Elizabeth's, and she kind of covered for her daughter. But there was part of her that thought, am I doing the right thing? You know, but I think she was hoping that maybe she'd fall asleep at Elizabeth's and she was just going to turn up and, you know, she could cover for her, that kind of way. But when it got to about 11 a.m, Sandy just couldn't. This just wasn't like their daughter. So she tells him, she said, she didn't come home and she's not answering her pager. Straight away, Randy's fuming. He's fuming at his daughter, but he's also, he knows how good she is. He knows how sensible she is, and he's worried too. You know what it's like when you're worried? You go one way or the other. You either get upset or you get angry. And he's angry. He's like, where is my daughter? So he calls round to the Pena home, obviously Elizabeth's home, but there's no one there. He's knocking on, the car's on in the drive, there's no one there. So he sort of, he walks round the back, there's no answer. So he then goes to Gina's home. Do you remember the friend that the girls went to? He goes to hers, and she goes, well, look, the girls left. The girls left at 11:15 last night, but they walked through the park. And he's like, right, okay. So he goes to Jester Park and he starts looking round himself. He's driving around. He's quite frantic at this time, looking for his daughter. He's like, something is not right here. He then goes back to Gina's and he says, come on, we'll go round to Elizabeth's. I need to find my daughter. So when they get back to Elizabeth's home, Adolf's back. He's back from work. And Randy's like, okay, where's Jennifer? And Adolf's like, well, we don't know. We thought Elizabeth was at yours. We just thought she chose to stay there. And it's dawning on both of these fathers that their little girls, 14 and 16, haven't come home. And no one's heard from them since they left to come home at 11:15 the night before. So, you can't imagine it. You can't even imagine it. So they call the police. Of course they do. They call the police. But unfortunately, the police, during that first day, well, they believe they're runaways. They don't take it very seriously. 14 or 16-year-old best friends, they think, I know what they've done. They've run away. It's always the go-to, isn't it, with teenagers? Oh, you know, they'll come back. They'll come back when they're hungry. You know, so, of course, the dads are livid. And Randy actually phones the press. He actually phones the press. And he's like, look, the police aren't doing anything. You know, we need you to get their pictures out there. We need you to, you know, get it out there that our girls are missing. And even the newspapers weren't really, you know, I don't know about this. Don't know if this is a story. So this is what they were up against the first day. So now I'm going to stop for a second, all right? And I'm going to, remember I says there's a few names in this story. And so far we have met Jennifer and Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth being 16, Jennifer being 14. And at this point in the story, they haven't come home from spending the night out with friends at a pool party. And the friend has said they left at 11:15 p.m. the night before. Okay, that's where we are. So, now we're going to move on just for a second. And I'm going to introduce you to a few different names. Right, there's 8 names I'm going to name, so you don't need to remember them all. All right, okay, I'm just going to introduce you to them first. All right. So we have a lad by the name of Peter Cantu. Okay, he's around 18. Peter finds out a bit of a mama's boy. Youngest of 3 boys. Mum doted on him, let him get away with everything. Always a bit of a troublemaker throughout his very early years into his teenage years. Just his badness just got worse and worse. He had gone from just fighting at school to, I heard a story about him robbing a lad's bike, and then when the mum put out reward for it, he brought the bike back, claimed the reward, and then robbed the kid's bike back off him again a week later. This is the type of lad Peter Cantu is, and it does progress onto their severe fighting, you know, beating of people. Just a nasty little piece of work whose mum always covered for him, always, throughout his life. That's Peter Cantu, okay? We have Jose Medellin, okay? Peter's neighbour. Again, rotten, not a good lad. Derek Sean O'Brien, a lad that they met. This lad, his mum didn't look after him. He moved in with his nan, treated his nan terribly. His nan then died and he goes back to his mum. But again, another lad who'd never faced any consequences for any of his violent outbursts that he'd shown. These are just a group of lads that I'm going to tell you that were the dregs of the earth that all managed to meet together. They all managed to meet together, these lads did, okay? We have Efrain Perez, same. We have twins Frank and Ramon Sandoval. Not too bad. These aren't as bad, should I say. Part of their group, but, you know, didn't really get involved in the crimes they did. We have Venancio Medellin, who is Jose's brother. This lad's only 14, sort of the little brother that hangs about with the group. And they call themselves the Black and White Gang. And it said, what I've took from this is these lads weren't taken seriously. Because what I've heard is that they weren't even taken seriously as a gang. It was just like, oh, you know, they see themselves as a gang, but, you know, they're not. These were vile. These were a vile group of teenagers, but men. They're adults, for the most part. The majority of them are. Yeah, they're just... I just don't think they were taken seriously, okay? So, on the 24th of June 93, same date the girls went to their friend's house, okay? Same day that happened, that they'd gone to Gina's, all right? A lad, the boys were in Peter Cantu's house. Okay, I'm just going to call him Peter from now on, okay? Or Cantu, should I say. They were in his house. They were having a drink and stuff. And anyway, Efrain Perez brings a lad called Raul Villarreal, who's 17. They bring him to the house, to Peter's house. So, who's this? And he's like, oh, you know, I've known him for a little bit, you know, he wants to hang out kind of thing. And they're like, now Peter doesn't like outsiders. Doesn't really like outsiders because they're all never up to any good. So he needs to make sure this outsider's not gonna basically grasp them, I suppose. So they about sort of 10 p.m, okay, the group are now in Jester Park. Now, do you remember I mentioned Jester Park? That the girls were going to walk through to do a shortcut to get home, back to Elizabeth's. Well, these lads were in Jester Park. And what they were doing there, they were holding an initiation. An initiation for Raul to join their gang. Okay? So, their initiation consisted of members of the gang just kicking the life out of this Raul and seeing if he can defend himself. That's basically what the initiation was. That's what it entailed, okay? And one by one, they go up and fight him. One goes first, I think it was Jose. Another one goes first, Efrain. And he holds his own until he gets to sort of Derek. Now, I've heard Derek, remember I said his name's Derek Sean O'Brien. I've heard him called Sean. I've heard him called Derek. So I'm just going to call him Derek because that's his name online, all right? He gets to Derek and Raul's kind of, he's had these two fights. He's sort of not quite with it, and Derek comes in and he just lands him to the point where Raul ends up getting knocked unconscious by the time Derek comes along. That's the third one, and the initiation was for him to fight for 5 minutes. All right, So he sort of comes round, and when he comes round, they're all sort of gathered in a little group away from him, deciding can he join their gang. Next thing you know, Peter announces, "You're in, you're in," and he passes him a beer. My God. This is about 10:30 p.m, okay? So around 11 p.m, while the gang were getting drunk, now don't forget they've been drinking through the day, remember? So they're all they're actually drunk now, they're all talking, laughing, you know, quite loud, shouting and stuff. At this point, Elizabeth and Jennifer are beginning to pass by, alright? Now, as it happened, the twins, now do you remember the twins who I mentioned? Their names are Frank and Ramon. They were actually leaving. They were leaving the group. They were going home, they were. And also leaving was, if you bear with me, it was Derek and Jose. They were going to leave too. So the twins sort of walk ahead and they pass Elizabeth and Jennifer. And sort of behind them was Jose and Derek. And as Elizabeth and Jennifer have already passed the twins, and now they're about to pass Jose and Derek, yeah, Jose grabs Elizabeth's boob, alright? Of course, she sort of knocks him away, and she tries to carry on walking with Jennifer. And he turns around and he's like, "Where are you going?" And he grabs her by the neck, okay? And he drags her down like a gravel path, down to where the others still were. And of course, Derek, who had been leaving, turns around and he goes down too. Now, the twins do actually see these girls, this girl get dragged. They do see that, but they don't go back. They just see what's happening and they don't want any part of it. They've got a real feeling this isn't going anywhere good and they don't want to be part of it. Now, Elizabeth, oh, bless her. Don't forget, this girl's 14 years old. No, sorry, Jennifer, 14, sorry. Jennifer, she could have run. She could have run. You know, a friend's just been dragged down the hill. She can hear, she can't see how many's down there, but she knows there's two and she can hear more. She doesn't run. She doesn't run at all. She runs down to try and help her friend. Okay? So, right. So when she gets down there, she's thrown to the ground. And both girls at this point are now just thrown to the ground. Elizabeth has been made to remove her trousers. Okay. And the five, I say five because I'll do a recap. The twins have now gone. They know something bad's happening. They don't take part, but they don't call the police. They don't alert anyone. They just leave. All right, that's the twins. That leaves six lads there. All right. Now, remember, one of these lads is 14. Same age as Jennifer. Okay. But 5 of them, not Venancio, who's the 14-year-old, but the other 5, then begin to brutally rape both girls. I've heard this went on for between 20 minutes and an hour. I've heard different accounts. But brutally beat these girls while they're being raped. Venancio, the 14-year-old, is also told, "Come on." Said he had a go, is the terminology. It said the girls were quite near each other at the time and they would glance across at each other at the time. And as Efrain Perez had took his turn to rape Jennifer, Elizabeth had looked across and she'd started crying. And in between raping the girls, they were just kicking her, punching her, laughing, having a whale of a time. They were. Found the whole thing hilarious. The girls themselves had fought. They really had. Kicking, and little Jennifer had bit the attackers, and you know they'd really tried to fight, but there's nothing they could do. There's nothing they could do. With every kind of kick that Elizabeth tried to kick out at, she got it back 10 times worse. The girls by this point, they were badly damaged, just bleeding, broken. But then they were like, we could be ID'd. We could. So Peter, remember this lad's 18? They're all teenagers. He decides they have to die. They just have to, because they can identify them. They just have to die. So Peter orders Venancio, the 14-year-old. He says, you stay there because you're too little to watch. You're too little to watch what's about to happen to the 14-year-old girl that we're about to kill and her 16-year-old friend. But he's too little to watch that happen. But it's okay for it to happen to them. Then they get the girls up and they force them into a bit of a wooded area within the park. Alright. Jennifer, 14, was told by Royale, get on your knees, bitch. Derek and Royale then basically strangle Jennifer with Derek's red belt. But the belt breaks. So then they use a shoelace to strangle her. And she collapses to the floor. Elizabeth has been made to watch. She's made to watch what this happening while she's been strangled with a ligature. Alright. She actually managed at this point to get away. Briefly. But she was quickly caught by Peter. Alright. Who threw her to the ground and began kicking her in the face and body. Oh, did I forget to tell you that these all wore steel toe boot. Steel toe cap boots. Sorry, cap. My God. That's what they were wearing as they kicked these girls. And as they kicked Elizabeth, in the face and the body with the steel toe cap boots, her teeth were broken and knocked out. Fractured her ribs. Just completely destroyed these girls. Peter, Jose and Efrain then strangle Elizabeth to death. Also with shoelaces. But they reckon they saw Jennifer move. So they then go over and they do it to Elizabeth too. They stamp on their necks with their boots just to make sure. They wanted to make sure the girls were dead. They were just walking home. They were just walking home. That's all they were doing. Peter, after this has happened, he takes Jose, Efrain and Rael back to his own home. Now, at his house, he lives with his mum and dad. And one of his brothers lives there. And when they get back to his house, his brother Joe is there with his with his wife, Christina. All right, so it's Peter's sister-in-law. So as these three lads walk into the house, Christina notices blood on them. They notice Rael is bleeding himself, okay? And that's obviously from the beating that he'd taken. But Jose, he's got blood on him, and so's Efrain. And they're like, what's that? Where's that blood come from? So Peter actually leaves, and he goes to drop Derek and the little one of Venancio, home. So Christina and Joe tried to get it out of, Jose, Efrain and Rael. Well, I say they tried to take it out of, get it out of them. They didn't. It didn't actually take them long to say what they did, because they were bursting at the seams. Oh, they wanted them to know. Now Christina, she's a young girl. She's a young woman. And it was said that she'd recently herself been through a sexual assault. Not with Joe, her husband, but it said, she'd been through her own thing. And she sits there while Rael and Jose answer saying, well, it was Jose who actually answers going, we've had fun. We've been having fun. But don't worry, you'll get to hear all about it on the news. But they couldn't leave it at that. And so they begin to tell Joe, obviously, who's Peter's brother, and Joe's wife, Christina, how they just raped two girls. And Jose very happily turned around. He says the white girl was a virgin as well, laughing. And he undoes his trousers to show some blood on his shorts. Peter comes back, okay, walks in. And if you remember, I was saying that Jennifer had, as she was getting older, she started to have a love for jewellery. And both girls had jewellery on them that they'd ripped off them and stole. So he comes back to split the jewellery amongst themselves. Jose, he saw a ring with an E on it. Obviously Elizabeth's ring, that he takes to give to his girlfriend Esther. So the next day, Christina, obviously Joe's wife, asked Joe to go for a walk with her. And they go for this walk, and she says, you've got to find the police, you have to. And he's torn. It's his brother. He doesn't know if it's true. He's like, I can't do this. It's my brother, I can't. And she's like, these girls, you have to tell them. You have to say what's happened. Because by now, Christina and Joe know that these girls weren't just raped. They'd been murdered. And she's begging him, you have to phone the police. You've got to do something. And then she says, well, why not phone Crime Stoppers? Phone Crime Stoppers and just tell them where to look. And he thinks that's, because he feels bad. But he's torn. So he phones Crime Stoppers. Okay. But the girls aren't found. They're not found. Because they're not looking in the right place. Do you remember when I said her dad, who'd gone to look at the park on the morning that his daughter hadn't come home? He was looking on the other side. The girls were literally in a section of this park. If you go online, you can see where it is. And they're looking over here. So they call the police. Joe finally calls the police, but he does it anonymously and says his name's Gonzalez. Okay. So the policeman who answers the phone call, he's like, right, okay, and he goes down to the park. But again, he's looking in a different place. And Joe and Christina, of course, are realising these girls still aren't found. They weren't there, so they don't know exactly where it is. They've just got an idea. And they're like, they're still not finding these girls. What is going on? So the family, both families should I say, hear that 2 girls have been found, and this is 4 days later. Because Gonzalez, like I say, Joe, had called the police again, and he tried to give a better description. Same policeman goes down, and the footage is awful. It really is. It is online. It is blurred out. But you see where they find the girls. It's awful. And although it's blurred out, it's just so dark and dingy. And you can just imagine how these girls must have felt. Well, you can't. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's such a thing to say, isn't it, that you can imagine it. You can't. You can't imagine it. And the parents hear that 2 girls have been found in the park, but not just the parents. Neighbours, they start to see police cornering off, or neighbours are coming down and looking. It starts to become like a lot of people are around this park, because the park's surrounded by houses, so and apartments. So, this bit's absolutely heartbreaking. Okay. On camera you actually can see Sandy, okay, which is Jennifer's dad. You see him running down the hill, okay. It's recorded because all the news crews are there, and you see him running down the hill, and he's screaming, how does she have blonde hair? And the police are having to hold him back. You can see it's online. And the police are trying to hold him back. And he's crying. And he's like, but does she have blonde hair? And they can't tell him. Not only can they not tell him anyway, okay, but the girls have been there for 4 days. This is Texas. The weather it's August. Sorry, no it's not, it's June. Sorry. But it's very, very, very hot. Alright? So, the girls by this point have really, really, really begun to decompose. Alright? I won't go into too much detail, but they couldn't ID the girls because there was only the skulls. The faces weren't there anymore. Oh God. Okay. Ugh. It was explained that it was the flies and everything, and Elizabeth was found naked from the waist down, arms above her head, and yeah, the Jennifer, same, but they couldn't identify them. Okay, it was only four days, and they had to then ask Randy to, I think I said Sandy earlier, I'm sorry, they had to ask Randy to go back and get, I think it was her dental records, her dentist, so they could ID her with dental records. Do you want to know, now that's bad, do you want to know how Melissa and Adolf heard about Elizabeth? They heard about it on the news, on the news. That's how they heard about it. They were sat down and it just come on the TV. Now, the reason they heard about it is because when they took the girls away, what you see Randy running down the hill, obviously Jennifer's dad. As they take him away, the girls are brought out. Obviously body bags brought away, taken to the medical examiner's office. He IDs them very, very quickly. But the news release it quicker than the police could get to Elizabeth's parents to let them know. It's your daughter. Oh, do you know, honestly, about this case, I know I've chopped and changed, I know I've got a bit confused, but oh my God, just awful, absolutely awful, awful, awful case. So, okay, so the police go back, and although they can't trace the call from Crime Stoppers, they can trace the call that was brought into them of Gonzalez. They trace it back to the address that Joe shares with Peter and his parents. And they go in and they get Joe and Christina and they bring them down to the police station, okay? Where Joe and Christina then tell them everything that they know, alright? So on the 5 days, so it would be 5 days later, so it's the next day, so it'd be the 29th of June, 93, they arrest all 6 men, boys, teenagers, okay? And they charge them with capital murder, kidnapping and aggravated sexual assault, alright? A little bit as well. You know, when all of this was going on and they were looking for these girls, do you remember I said that the houses and apartments surrounded this park? Do you want to know who lived right where these girls were for 4 days, left there, while their families were losing their mind? Do you know who lived right on the park? Could practically see it. Derek. He lived right there, he did. Okay. So, Venancio couldn't be tried for the death penalty, obviously because he was 14, but the rest of them were going to get charged with the death penalty, alright? They're going to go for the death penalty, should I say. Venancio also testifies against the others. That's how we know so many details. So at the trial, the girls' school friends go there as well as the family. It's devastating for them because obviously they hear all these details that come out in court. Family's utterly devastated, as you can imagine. So we get to the sentencing. Alright. Peter Cantu. Oh, sorry, do you know what I misstate? You might be thinking, well, where was it? There's no trial. No, they all confessed. They all confessed because they were all banged to rights because of the brother. So they all confessed. And there was no remorse from any one of them. None. None of them felt bad for what they'd done at all. Peter Cantu smiled the whole time. Tried to kick the camera when he was being brought into court. Just all of them despicable human beings. And that's what I was saying, you know, when they were making out the gang, them being a gang, and they were quite flippant about them, you know, not taking them seriously as a gang. Maybe they should have. So, Peter Cantu was sentenced to death. He was executed on the 17th of August 2010. And right to the last minute, right till that lethal injection, he showed no remorse whatsoever. He could have even apologised there and then. No remorse whatsoever. Jose Medellin, sentenced to death, executed on the 5th of August 2008. He fought against it a lot, he did. He tried to say that because he'd actually come from Mexico, okay, that it should be passed through the consulate and he should have been able to go back to Mexico to stand trial. But they didn't put up with it. The Supreme Court was involved. There were so many people involved. But he was executed on the 5th of August 2008. Derek O'Brien, the fellow I was just telling you, that lived and watched as these girls' families were looking for these girls. He could see from his apartment. He also sentenced to death, and he was executed on the 11th of July 2006. He actually said sorry as he was being given the lethal injection. He actually said sorry. So, okay. Just worried he'd be going to hell, probably. So that's 3 of them. Right, Efrain Perez and Raul Villarreal. They would have been sentenced to death, but the Supreme Court stepped in and they were like, no, they're underage, they're 17, you can't do that. So they were commuted to life imprisonment, but given a possibility of parole after 35 years. Doesn't mean they'll get it, doesn't mean they'll get out, but that's what they've been given. And Venancio Medellin, who was 14, as we remember, he was given 40 years. Now, he came up for parole, and his parole was denied in 2020. He's actually due for release in 2034. Okay? Now, that he would have done his 40 years by then. He'll be, 54? The fact that any of them could walk out is just sickening to me. Absolutely sickening to me. Now, the girls' parents actually advocated for victims' families to be able to witness executions, because up until that point in Texas, you couldn't actually witness the execution of someone who had done that to your family. You would want to see that. I know there's some people that wouldn't. I know there's some people, even on here, that don't agree with the death penalty. I do. 100%. In cases like this, absolutely. Absolutely. Because the family to have to be put through, all right, during death penalties, I know they can appeal and everything else, and the family have to go through that. But if they don't have the death penalty, but they come up for parole, now if they're given life without parole and that's it, fine. But if they're given life with parole under a minimum of certain amount of years, then you're every 2 years, 3 years, you're going through it over and over again. No, that's how I feel about it. Randy, obviously Jennifer's dad, he ended up dying in 2014 of lung cancer after advocating for his daughter and for Elizabeth. The girls were buried in Woodlawn Garden of Memories Cemetery, and there are memorials both at Waltrip High School and also at Jester Park. There are memorials for the girls. But, oh my God, I told you it'd be a long one tonight, but that was the harrowing Jennifer Ertman and Elizabeth Pena story. Oh, God. Just horrific. Like I say, there's a lot of what I've said online. I wish I hadn't watched it, to be honest. I do. But I do like to look at everything before I bring these stories to you. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it personally. There's some obviously details that not about what happened that night, but afterwards that you'll find out about the girls, how they were found. It's just not nice. So yeah, well, thank you for joining me. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesday my request evening, Thursdays are stories I want to bring to you. If you'd like to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. And And yeah, thank you for joining me, or come and join us in the live, or you can like, comment and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that too. But thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'm just going to go and have a chat with the guys in the live. Thank you so much. Oh, how are we doing? Do you, Phil? I do. Oh, thanks, sis. Do you, Jess? Yeah, I do. I do believe in it. I do. I know. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a hard one to know what that was. It was just the flippantness of it. Just they didn't even try to hide it. They didn't even lie. They were just so proud of it. It was said that when they were talking about it at Peter's house, they were giggling and found it all very funny. And just, how can you laugh at it after doing something like that? Oh, God, awful, awful. There was something I didn't mention, and I've already done my outro. Oh, God. I'll mention it to you guys now. Can I just say, I don't know how I missed it on my notes and it's just come to me now. Okay, do you remember I said the group, as a group, they should have been taken a bit more seriously. Okay? Well, it was actually found out. Now, there was a woman called, now I haven't looked into her case, all right, because I was researching this one. But I found out while researching this one that there was a woman called Patricia Lopez that had been raped and murdered a year beforehand. And it turns out when they'd got these, that they had the DNA for Peter Cantu and Derek O'Brien. Derek O'Brien had left a beer can behind. And basically she'd run out of fuel. And apparently the two of them had offered to get her fuel if she bought them alcohol. Because obviously they're underage. She said, yeah, okay. And it didn't. They kidnapped her, raped her and killed her. But because they'd already got the death penalty, that was it. As far as I know, now that's all I've heard on that. But it was them, but I don't know the ins and outs of it. So it's probably better I didn't say, because it's not good for the family if I haven't done all the details. But yeah, I found that out as well. Just awful. Just awful. And it's like if they'd have found them, it might not have happened to the girls. But I don't know too much about it. I don't know why they weren't found. I don't know what happened there. So I'm not going to really comment on that. But yeah, I did find that out. Yeah, Jessica, they did. Like I said, Patricia Lopez. But yeah, I don't know. I know that happened, but I don't know the ins and outs of the case. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. But just wrong for such young lads as well. It's just such young lads. They were never going to get any better if they could do something that horrific. But how are we doing anyway, guys? I'm sorry. I know I told you it was going to be a long one. How are we all doing? I've seen... Yes, please support me tomorrow. Please support me tomorrow. I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate to see you all there. I'm not going to threaten Phil. Oh, Warwick, he wasn't here, was you? I was threatening Phil and Jessica on Thursday that they have to join me. I can't threaten them, so I'm not going to. I'll threaten you, though. I'll threaten you, Warwick. I'm just going to ask nicely for Phil and Jessica. I won't be aggressive. But I'll be aggressive with Tiffany and Warwick. And Kelly. Is Kelly still here? Is Kelly still here? Do you like a long one? No, not really. No. No, not too much, no. I've got to say. But yeah, you all have to come and support, please. Come and watch me ramble again. Just just rambling with Sharon and Jerome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it. Come on. Oh God, you don't. I forgot about that, Tiffany. Yes, she does. Yes, she absolutely does. That's what she calls that. So you better be careful. Is Hayley still here as well? I saw Kelly and I saw Hayley, but now I can't see them. Are they still here? Did everyone stay? Has Mum been in? Mum said she was going to pop in. Oh, there she is. Hello. Mum said she was going to pop in at some point. I wonder, did she? Did she say? But she might have. But yeah, so you all have to join us tomorrow. Got one for you Thursday as well. I don't know about Thursday's one. I keep saying it. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and I never have the bottle to do it. Ever. So, I'll see. My mum, yeah. Why we... Oh, okay. If you're busy, that's okay. Oh, cute, did she? I don't know about that, though. Charming, annoying. She spelt annoying wrong. That's what happened when she wrote charming. She spelt annoying wrong. But that's sweet. That's nice. Oh, no, I understand, Warwick. Oh, did she not know? Did you not realise, Jessica? What, mate? Your mum. Yes, sorry. Yeah, our mum. Tiffany's. Not as a group, not the Jess Rose group, Jess Rose crew, mum. Yes. I know, I'm not surprised you laughed. But you know, the Americans think we're charming, it's the accent, isn't it? That's okay. Do you know what? I completely understand if you can't make it. Of course I do. Of course I do. I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. I understand. I'll just hunt you all down afterwards, but it's okay. It's okay. I won't have a chip on my shoulder afterwards on Thursday, but it's okay. It's all right. I swear I won't. Honestly. You got to believe me. Thousands wouldn't. But if you'd be nice if you believe it. No, I'm joking. Of course. But Tiffany, you and Hayley, you're the two. You're the only two on here that I will actually and can physically hunt down if you're not there tomorrow. So yous two can't get away with it. Yeah, don't divorce him. It's okay. We'll let him off. But, oh, thanks, Jess. Trying to be translating. Yes, I do. I forget my words often. I get very tongue-tied, as you all very well know. As I did tonight, a few times tonight. Oh, it was such a serious story as well, and I just kept losing names and times and everything else. I just got ahead of myself. So yes, I do that. I do that a lot. So I will try not to. Oh, that's all right, Phil. Oh, we're all dropping like bleeding flies. Look at them. Look. God, that voice got loud, didn't it? There was me being like, no, it's fine. And now I'm shouting at you. Oh, thank you. Thanks, sis. No, it's okay. I'll forgive yous. See, I'll stop shouting now. See how I was shouting? Oh, thank you. No, but that's okay. As long as she's back on Thursday for a story that I'm going to ruin your weekend with, then that's fine. That's okay. I'm sure I can forgive you through my gritted teeth. But no, I'm playing. Right? Look at the time. Look how long I've kept you all. But thank you all for joining again. Warwick, lovely to have you back. Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Tiff, haven't we got things? Don't even start, Hayley. Tiff, why do you do my heading? I don't even know you. Why have you done his heading? Have you done his heading already? Be back on Thursday, folks, or you'll all be starring. All of you, you'll all be stuck. I'll be doing a story on all of you. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. Shouldn't have said that out loud. My God, Tiffany, blaming you. But no, you haven't got anything to do, Hayley. Nothing at all. You got nothing to do tomorrow. But you can do something during the day. That's fine. That's fine. But come 8 o'clock, you're booked in. You're booked in. What's she done your editing anyway? Tell me what happened. What did I miss? What did I miss earlier on then? What did she put? My YouTube. Won't divorce you, my YouTube. But that's all she's written. I didn't see if she's written everything else. Well, you're going to have to take up. Because you love my YouTube. Okay. No, you're not busy. Right, okay, I'm going. Before you all pull out. Don't pull out. Just. But I'll see you all on Thursday. But anyone else who's joining, I will see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Don't be late, Tiffany and Hayley. Don't be late, baby. Did you hear what I just said? Don't be late. Audacity. I don't think I've been on time once on this channel, have I? That's a damn cheek, that was. Feels better than me, Jessica. Oh, I'm missing it. Right, I'm going to do jingle. It's jingle time. So, if you are here tonight and you're watching, I'd really appreciate it if you could go in. And no, I know it will, Sharon. I'm very excited. I'm really excited. Yeah, if you could go in and drop a comment on, I'd really, really appreciate it. And maybe a little like in the box. I would love that. Or you could just look, comment and subscribe. Oh, Patreon. Patreon.com/JessRose5472. Or look, comment, subscribe, guys. Look, comment, subscribe, guys, please. Look, comment, subscribe, guys, to my channel. Look, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. That was a bit passionate, that was, wasn't it? That was all a bit, look, the vein came out and everything. That vein's a killer, isn't it? Right. But anyway, I will, yes, I'll see you all on Thursday. Thank you all so much. Thank you to, great to have you back, Warwick. Thank you. And Sharon and Tiffany and Hayley and Phil and Jessica. And I know it was really aggressive, wasn't it? And Natalie and Kelly. Damn it. Have I missed any? Was that everyone? I think that was everyone, wasn't it? Was that everyone, Tiffany? Have I missed anyone? I said Natalie. I think that was everyone, no? I said Jessica. Right, I think I did everyone. So thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening. And yes, I will see you all soon. Thanks, sis. Right, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. And yes, look, comment and subscribe, guys. Look, comment and subscribe. See you all soon. Look, comment and subscribe, guys.